Hello. Oh boy. Today is Wednesday. It is June 5th. And today has been an interesting day. Oh, it's 2019 also. Surprise! Oh man. But anyway, today my plan is to work on packaging Python 3.8, which where's the announcement for that? The latest beta came out today. Or not today, I guess it was yesterday? I started trying to package it yesterday, but then hit some road bumps? Speed bumps? That's out of words. Hit some speed bumps while packaging it, but I think the Debian maintainer also hit those same road bumps, or speed bumps? Man. Off to a great start on talking today. I think the Debian maintainer hit those same speed bumps, so I'll be able to feel their work. But yeah, let's check out, let's read about this release a little bit more, because this is my first time. Well, I guess I kind of, no, I don't think I packaged the alphas last time. I think it's my first time going through the betas. What happened? What do you mean what happened? I'm here. Is the stream live? Is it working? 30 seconds? Am I not live? What are you talking about, bud? Wait. I'm pretty sure I'm live. The first. Oh, okay. We live. Okay, good. Hey, what's up, recursive chat? Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna be packaging the beta today. I want to read through what the beta policy is because usually I don't follow it, so I don't know what the deal is here. Currently encourage maintainers and third parties to test with 3.8. Should be feature complete now. Okay, cool. Possible that features may be modified or in rare cases deleted up until the start of the release candidate. Interesting. So we could fix the one bug that I'm not happy about. I'm not going to be able to find it. Visit stir is what I was complaining about. Yeah, this one. I guess I can Google. This code no longer works in Python 3.8 on the betas. But I don't know, I'm gonna ping the release manager and see if that's gonna say. You said you were live and there was a 30-second live show and then you went live. Oh, maybe you got an ad. You probably got an ad. Which will do that to you, I think. Yeah, okay, so no changes to ABI in theory between release candidate, or beta and release candidate. Oh, after beta 3. Okay. Cool. Oh, that means Python 3.9 development has started. We're getting closer and closer to 3.10 when everything breaks. And then we have a bunch of acknowledgements here. Pretty cool. Hello, fellow core developer. Cheating the beta, nice. Oh, was there a second live that was only 30 seconds long? That's weird. Or is this like what's happening right now? This is what's happening right now. I just talked about this. But I don't know why it ends there. Weird. That's weird. I don't know what's up with that, but Twitch eventual consistency. Yeah, the video is longer for me. It's not 30 seconds. But I'm also, what, like 4 minutes in? 5 minutes in? 5 minutes in, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe Twitch is just confused. But yeah, so I started packaging this yesterday. Control-C. Sorry about that. And where did I get to? So I have a bunch of scripts which automate most of the process for me. Let me show you what each of those scripts are, just so that they're not mystical. I also have a set of runbooks that tell me how to do these things. So the first is my updating runbook. I guess I can show those on GitHub. Dead Snakes runbooks. So the one that the procedure I'm doing here is updating to a newer version of the same branch, or the same interpreter. I don't know why these are numbered lists that only have one element. I guess there used to be like, I think like if we go back to the oldest version, it used to all be manual, and so I had lots and lots of steps here. But now I've minimized these steps down to just these 3 or 4 automated scripts. So the first script that I ran is this one here. I've also run this one, but I haven't finished getting the build to work. So the first thing I did was import upstream, and what import upstream does, actually I can run it again. Oh no, can I run it again? I don't think I can run it again. What import upstream does is it takes a version on the command line, and then it is way more complicated than I remember. It downloads that version of Python from the official FTP, or wherever it comes from. FTP? No, it's HTTPS. So it downloads that, and then it imports it using this tool called GBP, which is Git build package or something like that. Git build package. Yeah, so it uses this tool called GBP to import that metadata, and then it updates these 2 branches, and then that's that. So then I have another tool called refresh patches, which we'll actually see this in action later when I do the Xenial branch. But this basically pulls in the latest version from upstream and then rebases all of the patches on top of it. And if there's conflicts, which there have been conflicts almost every time I've done this, then I have to fix the conflict. I have to do homework for school, but I have several projects in my head. What do you think of a network mapper for the local network of your home and office made in Python? You mean like something that shows all of your like attached devices and stuff, or like what do you mean by that? Yeah, this also does a bunch of other stuff, like making a commit which changes the version number and writes out the changelog and does that all automatically. So if you actually look at the last 5 commits, so these are the ones, not 5 commits, 4 commits. These are, well, actually it's 5 commits because this one got merged. So these are the same commit kind of, and then these are the 3 patches that it produced. And here's my rebase of all of the Debian patches, which usually just changes the line numbers here. But sometimes there's more interesting stuff, like, where's the one that I had a conflict on? This one. I had to change how this code worked. And where this RM tree call comes in. But that's that. The other thing that I wanted to... Well, the thing I got confused about, and I can show you because it happens pretty quickly. If I try and build the current 3.8 that I have, basically it builds a Docker image and then tries to run the Debian build in there. But we'll see that crash pretty quickly, and so while that's going, I'm going to download the Debian Python 3.8 and see what they did here. 3.8 Debian. python3.8. Here's our source. I'm just gonna download their source and see what they did. dget-ux, if I remember right. Just unpack and I don't know what the X means. But we should have a Debian directory with patches. If I download the previous version, can I just copy this in the URL maybe? That looks like it. Should be able to look at the difference between their Alpha 4 and their Beta 1 to see which new patch. Alpha 4 to Python 3.8, 3.8, Beta 1. I don't want to do that. I just want the Debian directory. In fact, I just want the, well, I'll do the whole Debian directory. Oh, that looks sad. This looks like I'm gonna have some sad times. What is this big patch here? What? What are they doing? Why is this so large? I was talking to you last night about with another Twitch streamer who went to Michigan. He thought you were talking about. He thought about taking that CS. Oh, 381 or 371. 381's the crazy one. Who's the streamer? I'd like to follow them and chat with them. But yeah, here's the thing that I was crashing on before, which was import lib now has import lib metadata, which I contributed a bunch to, and import lib metadata imports email and zip file, which causes all of these other things to be imported. And so they need to end up in the minimal build for Debian, because Debian tries to split up the package in two ways. One of the packages is python-minimal, which basically just contains the import system and the other built-in modules, not the entire standard library. So just, well, actually, here's the list of modules right here. These right here. So it's like the C modules that are needed to start the interpreter, and then some basic modules on top of that. I want to do the Anthony challenge, doing this project in Nano. Oh boy. I used Vim a bunch today, partially because Nano is not installed on any of our development boxes. This is not installed in our prod boxes either, but oh. This looks like the patch that I wanted. So I just need to apply this patch, I think. Let's see. They fixed their commented out thing. Nice. They fixed this commented out thing as well. Yeah, so I think this is all I need to make this pass. Let's Debian pymindeps. Guarded imports which don't need to be included in Python minimal. Okay. They added import lib and they added zip file. know why these are out of order, but... Pathlib depends on urllib only on Windows. Why is that relevant? Oh, maybe the urllib import is only necessary on Windows? I found a way past the science weed-out courses. I found out that earth science counts. Yeah, that seems a little cheaty. Wait, did I? I'm pretty sure I took like some bullshit earth science class. What is that? I know I took planets and moons, but that was just like, that was a lecture. This was like, or maybe it was just a class that was in the geology building? Man, I don't remember. I guess I could look at my transcript, but I don't remember, so that's fine. If I don't do this recursive, extra operand. Find type F max step 1. Does this do what I want? Yeah, that looks like it. Oh, is this gonna work? We will find out. I'm trying to do this crazy diff to diff the two files. Oh, I have too many Debians here. Maybe this will work. Oh, that looks good. Okay, what's the diff between the two? Some changelog stuff, some conflicts and breaks. Ignore all that. Symbols, which we'll get to later. Lots of symbols. What is this about? I think I'm gonna have to update this file. What is this? Ever-minimal. Contents of the minimal package. The pver minimal package consists of a minimum set of modules which may be needed for Python scripts using the boot process. Oh, so I just need to list the new packages. I guess. So let's we'll remember that and apply that in a second. And then oh, actually easy enough to just do it right now then. How old were you when I graduated, or how old was I when I graduated? Let's see, I graduated in early 2013, so I would have been 22? No. I would have been 21, about to turn 22. So, now you know how old I am. So it serves the Dumbledoor name and Dumbledoor main in Python. Oh. Are you asking how that works? Yeah, I can show how that works. So normally, normally the name is set to the module name that you're being imported, but if you are the entry point to the Python process, you'll get the name Dumbledoor main. And so if we python-m t2, we'll get the name main. But if we import t2 from t, t2 will have the name t2, and it'll say that it was imported from somewhere else. And so the reason that that's a best practice is sometimes say t2.py had some functions here. You could just like put this at the module scope, but then any side effects that you have here you wouldn't be able to test this because it would trigger the side effects every time you ran the scripts. So it's best to always guard your entry point side effects by that block. And it's kind of a hack, but it's a very well established hack. Or at least to me it feels like a hack. It's not really a hack, it just feels like one. Because you're basically testing, am I the entry point? Okay, run the main. Whereas it would be kind of nice if Python like had a first class concept of like what is the main function and then call that. Like it would be cool if this would just work. Or maybe even something like if this were a thing. That would be kind of cool. But it's not, so oh well. So the one thing that I always do is reorder the commits so that the changelog is always the last commit. That's the one that I'll end up tagging when I release this version. But I also want to change the changelog so that it mentions the change, the import lib dot metadata. Change the changelog. But now I need to fix this commit message. And I'm just gonna do an interactive rebase. I'm gonna edit this commit. And then I will just amend it and change this dash to a dot. And then rebase continue, and voila! Git log, and I've fixed the commit message. But now I'm gonna build that. I have a runbooks build script. And what build does is, I don't even remember. Oh, okay, so it figures out the version that we're gonna run, or that we're gonna build based on the changelog. So we run this script, show field distribution. So we're gonna be building Bionic, which is Ubuntu 18.04. I have Docker files pre-set aside for each distribution. So if we look in runbooks Docker files, there's a Bionic one, there's a Xenia one, and actually I can delete the trusty one because I'm not allowed, like, I can't upload packages for a dead distribution. So let me do that right now. Git rm docker files, dockerfile.trusty, remove end of life trusty docker file. Sweet. And I generated these Docker files in the past. They basically just include a bunch of dependencies that I'll need to install to build basic packages. So this is generally what you need to build Python from source. Like all of these things, including Python itself. A little bit weird, but I guess that's the way it works. Oh, and this is I have a Docker image that has GBP, which is the Git build package tool, but I have to use Xenial because there is a not backwards compatible change between Xenial and Bionic, so I can't just use the one that's installed on my system. I have to intentionally use an old version, but it works fine, so it's not a huge deal. Yeah, and this is more of the same. But anyway, so my build script will build that Docker image and then run this blob of shellcode inside that Docker container. It also mounts in the GPG keys so that I can sign the releases, and it mounts a read-write dist directory so that I can copy the binaries out when it's done. But to kick that off, I'm going to run an unsigned build because I don't want to bother typing in my keys, and I'm pretty sure it's going to fail, and it's going to be slightly faster that way. Runbooks build unsigned. And this is going to take, like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, so I'm going to work on something else while that's going. Or I guess I can do a recap of stuff I've done offline, because usually I start with that, but we skip that a bit. So between last time, which was... what did I work on last time? I worked on... I don't even remember. Oh, it was right after this release. I worked on this patch last time. This is what I worked on. Hey, what's up, outdated version? How's your Wednesday going? I'm currently building python3.8 from source. Well, I'm about to be failing to build it from source, but that's fine. That's why we're here to fix things. And what did I work on last time? Oh, I worked on this PyTest fix. What did I also do? Oh, I also finished up... This is kind of interesting. I finished up offline because I didn't quite get to it on stream. The Python 2 block rewriter thing. Where is that? Oh yeah, it's an old old PR. It's from like almost 2 weeks ago now. But I got this working. I fixed the last couple of bugs off stream. Going A-okay. Work was fun. Another day of onboarding 6 new team members. Oh boy. At least you're growing, I guess. It could be worse. Also got to play with all repos Bitbucket things. That's neat. Oh, nice. How's that working? I don't have any Git repos on Bitbucket, so I don't have enough to try it myself, but interested to hear how it's working out for you. It works as expected, so I'm excited. Nice. Hopefully that'll improve some of your productivity. I know it makes my life way better. The amount of times where I want to like do a complicated grep query and source graph just like doesn't quite cut it, and all repos grep is just so much better than that. Or when I want to like automatically rewrite a bunch of stuff, it just works way better. But yeah, one thing that and Sarcastic Dante is not here, but this was a thing that he ran into a bunch on his branch. Was this is the thing that I spent most of the time on off stream because I was very confused about how it worked. But when Python tokenizes, in particular this block right here, it puts the dedent token right at this E, whereas the indent token is right here. Or wait, right here? No. This is the indent token. And so this block should be just this line here. But the way the tokenization worked out, it ended up being this line and then this indentation here. And so I wrote this tricky little function which just swaps the position of this dedent in this white space here. And that fixed most of the tough problems I was having with this rewriter. So So it is meh. I cannot check out any remote branches on what it has cloned, even if I use get fetch on the remote. I end up having to remove the dir and then clone it manually. I might just be shit at get. Couldn't figure out after some Googling now. Oh, yeah, so it intentionally, yeah, all repos intentionally does shallow clones, or like, not shallow clones, but single branch clones. All repos. You can force it to fetch all the other branches though with a command, if I remember right. All repos clone. Here is the thing that it does. So it initializes by calling get init, then it adds the remote. What does this do? Get remote set branches. Let me just run the commands that it does. So it does get init. So let's say we're cloning pyupgrade. So it makes an empty repo here, and then it adds get remote add origin pyupgrade. And then it does get remote set branches origin master, and then it just does get fetch. That'll bring all the tags in. Oh, I don't have any branches. I should have picked something where I have branches. Is there anything that I have branches? I can just make a branch. Let me just make a branch. I'll just mess up the readme. Not commit to master. No, I don't want to make a pull request. So get fetch will not pull that branch. Just get fetch all? No. Interesting. So this is why it's only fetching master. You can make it. Then you make it fetch more branches. I think you created it on all repos and are using the pyupgrade remote. Oh, good point. Let's try that again. Good call. Good call. Thank you for catching that. I would have been real frustrated if I didn't even find it after that. But that's what chat's for. Get remote add origin. This time with the correct remote. Remote set branches origin master get fetch. Fetch just fetch master. Force fetch all branches get. Is not the answer that I want, because I just tried that. I've seen the syntax before, so that's why this is what I want. This one. So this will fetch all the branches. Using to fetch into current branch of non-bear repository. This? Is it this? I don't remember. This is what I want, I think. Do not read from the remote repository. I have no idea. But what you can manually do is modify this one line in get config to contain this, and then you can fetch. And that'll give you your other branch. Oh, that's pretty janky. It used to be... It used to not do that. What did it used to do? I changed this when we implemented... let me just delete that branch. We're definitely not going to merge it. We're in CI though. We changed this when we switched to allow non-default or non-master default branches. Oh, when was that? Fix all repo clone when no. Clone non-default branches. This is when I changed. What it used to do is it would track master, but a fetch would fetch. Maybe it did just fetch all the branches before. Is the track option do? That's real helpful. Dash dash track. It's the branches to track. Cool. Who would have guessed? Adds a remote named name for the repository URL. The command get fetch can be used to update. With -f, get fetch name is run immediately after the information is set up. Oh, that's kind of neat. Did not know that. By default, only tags are fetched. Only tags on fetched branches are imported. With -t branch, instead of the default blob ref spec for the remote to track blah blah blah. With -m master option, Symbolog ref head is set up to point at the remote's master. I don't know what any of these words mean. But yeah, if you make an issue, I'll try and I can probably make an option for this so that it just always like it gives you an option on whether it just fetches master or fetches everything else. I can probably fix that for you. Oh boy. We failed. We failed very early. Can you change that? Hey, what's up, Swells? What does this mean? New Sphinx feature, maybe? env.getDomain. Yeah, so this is what was broken. So maybe we can just copy and paste this code. Let's see what actually changed in CPython though. Gitlog -G get domain. Fun fact, a git remote can have multiple URLs. What? I did not know that. Okay, so this is the old code. Guess we'll add a patch for this. App search python3 sphinx. Show python3 sphinx. The version we have was really old, 1.6, I think. Let's see. PyPI Sphinx. I think Sphinx is at like 2.1. 1.6 was released in 2018 is not super old. But we don't have this feature anymore. That's fine, we can make a patch for this. So the way the patches work is gbp pq export. No, maybe it's import? Import. Patch queue already exists. So we switch to a branch where each of the patches is a commit. And then I can make a git commit that modifies that code. Because normally when you package stuff, you don't get to modify the upstream code, except in patches. And making patches is kind of a pain in the butt. But with GBP, it's not so bad. Fix old Sphinx. Honestly, I think the hardest part about packaging python3.8 is I spend a whole shit ton of time. like most of the breakages are in the documentation build, as silly as it sounds. Because Sphinx just like does their own thing, and they make breaking changes pretty often. Okay, so once I have that patch, then I can export it. Fix build for old Sphinx. Oh, and by the way, if you guys hear sounds from outside, it's because it's really hot in San Mateo today, and so I have all my windows open, and I'm trying to circulate some cooler air in. So if you hear cars or people or whatever, that's what's going on there. So then we'll rebase this again. Is air conditioning not a thing? So it is in some places, but not most places in the Bay Area. Mostly because there's probably like 3 or 4 days a year that you would actually need air conditioning, and most of the other days you can just deal with it or get a fan. But I don't know. Today is almost one of those days. I mean, it only got up to like 80 something, but. So now we have another commit for fixing Sphinx. I think I have, yeah, I have many more of these old Sphinx commits. Then I'll try building again. We want to unsigned build. Just so if it, I mean, we know it's not gonna work, but there's a chance. Okay, so while that's building, what were we talking about? This is crazy. I didn't know you could do this. But now I know. I think so it would be one way to like synchronize multiple remotes at the same time, so it seems kind of cool. But also thank you, Django, for your patch. Would it be possible to pin a sticky or something on the stream that lists what you're working on? Yes, it would be possible. I could put it in the like description below. I used to do that, but then it would be perpetually out of date. Let's see. Where would I put that? This is super meta. Yeah, like I could put something down here that's like, "What are you working on?" and then it's splat. That would work. Look, it's me in the past. How many cursors can we get on here? Oh, you mean something in my VM? Yeah, potentially. Like I could just like do a real janky way and just put a terminal up here. Although, how much of that can you guys see? Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, that's real bad. Dang it. I gotta restart my VM now. Unless that fixed it. Did that fix it? No. Yeah, so whenever I maximize Windows, it breaks the window manager. Which I haven't figured out yet, and I haven't bothered fixing, so I'll be right back while I restart this. Hey, what's up, Jake? Maybe if you use Gen 2, this wouldn't happen. Yeah, probably. Although I'm gonna blame VirtualBox, maybe? Oh, I can't even click the power button. Amazing. Okay. We'll start that back up again. Fortunately, reboot doesn't take too long. Send to Sev. Yeah. Prep the IR. Honestly, I have weird problems with Plasma Shell all the time, sadly. Yeah, I also have a problem with my terminal emulator as well. Well, so it turns out if I maximize any window, it doesn't have to be the shell. It can be any window. Usually, it's me accidentally maximizing Firefox, but that causes I don't know. I haven't debugged it, but something locks something else up, and then it's just sadness all the way down. Ice Weasel, yeah. Oh, why did I click on it? I don't need Firefox. No, does that count as maximizing? No, it looks like we're still flag free. That's fortunate. Start the chat bot up again. So if someone happens to mention Nano, then all right. So let's do this more intelligently. I just make this real small here, and then make a window here. I promise I'll make this less janky later. I need Tmux. Yeah, I could just use Tmux and then resize panes and do all that shenanigans. But then, how do I make this? This is where Twitch panels would be great. I am working on packaging Python 3.8. Can you guys even see that? No. That's a 6. How does that look on stream? Let's see, channel. Okay. That's not terrible. We can go with that. It's something, yeah. Perfect. It's a little bit jank, but it'll make do. Ship it. Close enough. Let's see. Okay, we can start that build again. The problem is whenever I talk over here, we completely lose that. So what I really need is like a Twitch over or a OBS overlay to make that better. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about this, which fixed the if Python 2 block rewriting. If you get Twitch partner, add a ship it emote. Yes, I will. I only need. I mean, today's not a very good day for it. I guess I could show you the requirements. It's pretty hard to actually get to partner. This is the. Oh, wanted this. This is the dashboard that I see behind the scenes. I am an affiliate already. Partner is pretty. Like if I had this number up, it would be easy for me to just stream more often. The problem is getting an average of 75 viewers in over a monthly period or something like that. Which now I'm at 14.9, which is actually way higher than I would have ever expected to get to. But I don't know. I'm very happy with this number. But getting to 75 is goals, I guess. I think my peak viewers of all time is 40. Although I guess there was a raid where I got up to 46, but a sustained number of viewers, I was at 40 for a while. But this is the hardest way to get to partner, or the hardest part about getting to partner, at least if you're streaming in the science and technology category. But yeah, and then we'll have some sick emotes. I think technically there's another way to get emotes, which is I think you 15 people subscribe, then you get an emote, but I don't know how that works. So I might be wrong, and don't subscribe just because I said that. You get emotes at affiliate. I thought there was a way to get them before that, though. I guess I could just look. Twitch emotes as a streamer. Twitch still hasn't fixed its racist emote problem. Cool. Subscriber emoticon guide. Why did Chrome just it's weird. Guidelines, policies, how to create your subscriber emoticon. Some partners and affiliates. So this is where I'm confused. This text is probably tiny so you guys can't see it, so let me make that bigger. 3 sizes are required. What weird sizes? 28 by 28. File can't be bigger than that. Blah blah blah. How to manage them? What are the requirements? Oh, here we go. Partner emoticon tiers, affiliate tiers. Oh, so maybe I already have one emote slot? Maybe I can already make an emoticon? And if I get 15 subscribers, then I can make 2, I guess. Is that how that works? Twitch uses IRC for chat. There are standard IRC image sizes. Yeah. I'm sure that's what it is. Ship it. So maybe this works? You also must create your subscription prefix before you can upload. What does that mean? Alright, I'll figure this out offline. You guys don't want to watch me make pixel art for forever because that's no fun. But yeah, so I finished up this Python 2 blocks deletion rewriter thing, which had a small example in the README of what that does. Basically, auto detects when it's 6.py2 or 6.py3. I haven't finished all of the cases for this yet, so it doesn't handle sys.versioninfo, which it should, and it knows to delete this code and unindent this code, which is pretty cool. I think I definitely want to watch that. I did do some pixel art for an emoji at work. Let me grab that one. It wasn't great pixel art, but it did the job. So we have this silly meme at Lyft. Big emoji, sick. We have this meme that these links still work? They do. So we have this meme that instead of saying yo, that's awesome, you say, yo, that's sick. But instead it's a cue. Your stand-up. I did pixel art. Yeah, this is what I did when Slack was down, actually. So not that one. This is the base emoji. But I worked on cool S sick, which I know this was actually way more work than I thought it was gonna be, because MS Paint does not support transparency at all, but there's Paint 3D, which does. The problem with Paint 3D is even if you use the pencil tool, it is not a pencil tool. And even if you set the thickness to, well, that one only goes down to 5 pixels. You can use this pixel pen, which kind of works, but I don't know. I was having a lot of trouble building pixel art with Paint 3D. And I could just like use any other image editing tool, but I didn't want to install anything. Paint 3D! Yeah. Explain a meme is like dissecting a frog. You understand it better, but the frog dies in the process. Yeah, rip. Have you thought about the GIMP? That's such a funny sentence. I have thought about the GIMP. I've used it before. It's been a while and I'm pretty garbage at it. The GIMP. I forget there's some like story behind the GIMP, right? I don't want to just Google the GIMP. I want to Google the GIMP graphics software, right? Or sorry, it should be GNU/GIMP. Wait, did they not call it the GIMP anymore? Frequently asked questions. Huh. GNU image manipulation program. I guess GNU/GIMP would be redundant. I don't like the name GIMP. Will you change it? With all due respect, no. The name was originally and remains an acronym, although the word GIMP can be used offensively in some cultures. That is not our intent. I don't like... Is that really one? Oh, I don't... I don't like some of the changes you introduced in recent GIMP versions. Why can't you add a checkbox to disable them? Pretty sure. Yeah. Every project needs that in their FAQ. I don't like what you changed. You can go fuck yourself. Yeah. If only we could get away with that. Graphics are a tool of bourgeoisie. Oh, we've gotten further into the build. This is kind of the last step before it complains about all of the symbols that I definitely didn't do properly. Oh, the other thing that got merged is Sarcastic Dante's branch for yield from, which was in progress for a while because we were having trouble getting it to work in Python 2 and PyPy3. More in PyPy3 because that was harder to install and work with. But now, well, some of the work that I did in this Py2 blocks branch translated really well because I was able to essentially find this code block and then delete this chunk here and then replace it with just this and the yield. Or I guess yield from. Shoot, this example is wrong. This should say yield from Y. This should also say X here. What am I doing? We'll just fix that readme real quick. Probably did that late at night after I was super tired or something. That's the excuse I'm gonna go with. Or X and Y, yield X, yield from Y. This example is at least right. I don't know why this one was wrong. I commit directly to master. Should be done, right? Fine. finish. But yeah, I finished up that branch for Sarcastic Dante, and so we merged that. During a view. Yeah, I mean, I hope I don't break the build by editing some... Actually, I know I'm going to break the build. This is going to crash. And I'm going to be real sad about it, but I know why it's broken. So this build right here is going to break. Because Azure Pipelines, for whatever reason... Actually, I think this one will break too. Yeah, this one already broke. So Azure Pipelines broke their installation of Python 3.8 in their latest release that came out today, and they still haven't reverted for whatever reason. And so anything that uses SQLite will crash with this, despite SQLite being a standard lib module. But they compiled Python incorrectly and then still haven't rolled it back for whatever reason. Microsoft, GitHub, Microsoft, Azure Pipelines, images. Are you really stopping on me already, music? Keep going, it's only been an hour. I swear, YouTube like randomizes the amount of time that it lets you play music in the background. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, here we go. Oh man, it's been almost a day and they still haven't fixed this. This is ridiculous. But yeah, they just like completely broke their build, compiled it wrong, and then still haven't rolled it back. Oh, apparently their 2.7 build is broken too. But anyway, yeah, so I joked about breaking the build, but oh wait, why did this one work? Oh, probably because none of these import SQLite. The pre-commit does. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Lo-fi chill beats to break Azure Pipelines too. Yeah. I could work around this by installing my Python 3.7, which I know I didn't break the build of. And that would work. But it would take a lot longer. It's like installing it from Dead Snakes adds 2 minutes to the build. Whereas like using the... What did I click on? Using the Python version they pre-built takes less than 1 second. How much of putting a new Python version into Dead Snakes is automated versus manual? Okay, it failed. So when a new version comes out, it's a lot of... well, I usually try and take a shortcut. I usually cheat. The nice thing about Debian is they're usually very, very early to the game. And I can often just steal their packaging setup. And since Ubuntu uses Debian packages, it's really just like rebuild it on Ubuntu and make sure it works. So what I often do is grab their package, which is just this DSC file, which says some stuff about the like source that they download and the patches that they apply on top of it. But then I have to do some manual patches because Debian has some opinions about stuff that I don't necessarily agree with, and so I usually apply a set of or a consistent set of patches to their upstream. So this is when I imported Alpha 1 from Debian. I then did these things. And these are all manual. Well, the first one was automated, so refreshing the patches just reapplies the patches and makes sure that they have consistent headers and line numbers and all that stuff. And so this was just, I regenerated the patches. That part's easy, automated. This sends bug reports to upstream on exceptions, and that's not helpful for a third-party backport, so I delete this @port thing. Then I had my first patch of let's downgrade Sphinx and and make that work. Unfortunately, this like needs Sphinx directive is complete garbage. Like they break this all the time and don't update it properly because the builds on GitHub are always using the latest version of Sphinx, and they don't really care about the lower bound here. But fine. Build without python3 doc theme. Oh yeah, so in the latest Debian, they have split out the docs theme from the main repository to a separate repository, and so there's a separate package, but this package doesn't exist on Bionic, so I had to swap that out and switch to just the default theme, which I don't really care that the docs are a different color or whatever. Oh, and I should have put this in a separate commit, but for whatever reason I didn't. This is the hardest part of importing a new package, is setting up these optional modules that Debian has split out for reasons, and like getting these to build again. And so for that, I basically have to undo all of their setup, and then I have to add a bunch of manual packages myself. These are just all of the packages that Debian intentionally doesn't ship, or like intentionally ships in a different source tree, which I don't know. I have feelings about that, but this I mean, it's more work for me, but whatever. And then I have to modify the make file to re-enable these building. Well, actually, they build anyway, but then they just throw away the build products, so I just have to keep the build products instead of deleting them. But I wrote all of this make file. Well, I wrote all this make file once a long time ago, and this is mostly copy and paste from past me. It's not so bad. But that's the hardest commit of making a new thing. Oh, and then I apply this patch every time because running with really old pip is kind of annoying, and it breaks the VMth module by default. And this is easier to just bundle the wheels. This kind of goes against Debian policy of bundling other software, but it's way easier than the alternative. The alternative is I have to backport a bundled version of this version of pip and this version of DevTools. Screw that. It's too much work. Oh, and then I've turned off make check for now. When it gets to like release candidate stage, I'll turn make check back on. But for now, it's faster for me to just prototype with the checks off. Otherwise, it adds like 15 minutes to build, and I can't be arsed. Okay, so this is the very common failure whenever a version updates. So one of the products of the build of the package is a list of all the symbols that are provided by the shared objects in that, and these these symbols change very frequently between versions. Fortunately, I have a script that I've been working on. I don't know if it works because I've never successfully used it, but we'll try it. What is it called? Fix symbols. If I remember correctly, I need to copy this patch. Try that. Copy this patch. They changed a lot of symbols, so everyone tried to rush in their features between the last alpha and the first beta. Partially because it's supposed to be the feature freeze, but there's a lot of C changes because of it. Runbooks, fix symbols. Paste the printed patch, and then Control D. Yeah. And so it's supposed to automate applying that patch for me. The problem is that the order that patch is and the order that this file is are different, and so I needed to do like a bunch of fiddly diff stuff to make it do this correctly. And technically all of these red ones are ABI breaks, but since it's still an alpha or beta, it doesn't matter whether you break the ABI. But sometimes it matters. In like, I think it was the 3.7 series, there was an ABI break in like the middle of the patches, and it was just like, Guys, you just broke a bunch of C code, but it happens. So now I need to refresh, or I need to reorder these. Rebase -I this. Just reorder these. And then we'll try and build again. And hopefully it'll build successfully. And then I'll move on to doing Xenial, which is basically the same approach, but again. And you'll get to see the frustrating conflicts that I deal with on most of these. But hopefully that answers your question on how much is manual. When I first started maintaining this project, it was entirely manual. I had to run all sorts of commands. I have it down mostly to 4 commands now, which is this import upstream, then refresh patches, then build to test it, and then release to release it. And this new fixed symbol script, which apparently worked. So, cool. But the original version of this... how do I show a file? Revision. Show file at revision. Get a file from a specific revision. Get show tree-ish : file. So the original version of this, I had to like open up a thing in my browser, copy a URL and wget. Then I had to run checkout, I had to run GBP, and do all this stuff just like completely manually. And the first time I did it, I completely messed all this up, and so the other maintainer had to help me with all of this stuff. But at least like I wrote down a runbook so that I consistently just like follow the steps, and as long as I follow the steps, it does what I wanted to do. But I know I went from nothing to some like guesses on an issue in an issue tracker to this runbook, and then from this runbook to automated scripts that automate the runbook, and so that's where I'm at today. One thing that I've thought about, which might be cool, is to make a PPA that actually gives nightly builds, and then I would need to completely automate the whole process. I think I could mostly do it. Tough part would be signing the binaries when I upload them, because I don't quite know how to do that. But assuming I could figure that part out, like it would probably just be have a secret key that's in the Travis configuration or out there or whatever configuration that I use, and then run the same upload commands that I usually do. Like in theory, I could set that. I don't know. Not my highest priority. Yeah, that was a much longer answer than I expected. Well, sorry, bud. I still am not quite sure what the eye emoji is supposed to be on GitHub. Like, is it the like, what the fuck are you doing emoji? Which is usually this one, but I don't know. Also, I find it amazing that they only broke these 3 and not the python3.8 build, which... confusing. Oh, actually this one says they only found it in 3.5 and not in 3.6, so whatever. Hey, I'm looking here! Is that what it is, Jake? I believe it. But yeah, markdown change, breaks, build. Super awesome. But yeah, finished that up, got yield from finished, and then I made a bunch of changes to PyTest, and 2 releases to PyTest. We first tried to fix a... Why does this have the... Oh, no, no. We first tried to... Or I fixed... Wait, did I fix this? No. I did not fix this, but I backported it. we tried to fix a new feature which was supposed to make assertions for all work better, but we missed a bunch of edge cases that caused a whole bunch of sadness. So first we tried to fix it because we thought it was just this one little small thing. Once we fixed that, then there were 3 new bugs, and so we just reverted the whole change. Because it caused mysterious crashes when you had tests that did stuff like this. There's a comprehension with multiple 4s, it would just explode. Another one, and I couldn't reproduce this one, or I didn't try and reproduce this one. Oh yeah, no, I did try and reproduce this one. The unrolling was not handling the if conditions at the end. So fixed that, and then this was a third case, which if you used all in an expression, it would just like give completely the wrong test result. That was awesome. But we determined that those 3 breaks were bad enough that we should revert and then release immediately. So we made a release of that. Oh, I also contributed I contributed some linting to MyPy. I basically went through and upgraded Flake 8 and then fixed all of their lint errors. Mostly because I was working on MyPy and noticing that it like wasn't checking my unused imports, and I was like, what? That's weird. That's like the most basic check that anyone uses. But it turned out it was because they turned off that feature. And the reason that they turned it off is type comments used to not be handled by Flake 8, but then I made that work. So it's all better now. But yeah, did that. Done yet? No. Building some docks. Cool. And then a bunch of PyTest stuff. Nothing too interesting. We ran pyupgrade against PyTest, which is pretty cool. I'm very happy with the diff that it generated. Where is that? Closed author E. So we ran a bunch of automated fixers against PyTest. Let's skip the first commit. First commit is just me changing pre-commit, which is how easy it was for me to enable this change, which was just like dump all the versions, add some args in a few places, so py3+ or py3+ here. I guess still py3+. Unfortunately, we still support Python 3.5, so we can't quite use those sweet f strings yet. But then it was mostly just like run pre-commit and commit the results. So this one removed the coding pragmas, which are not needed in Python 3 anymore, because Python 3 defaults to UTF-8 as an encoding, which is nice. Happy about that. Then I did the reorder Python imports removal, so that just removes like future imports that aren't needed, or the import of range, which is not needed, or like it changes some 6.moves calls to use the actual name. What else we got? Mostly just that. Removes unnecessary future imports. And then the interesting one, which is the pyupgrade one, where it goes through and like gets rid of Unicode literals and does all sorts of other stuff. New style classes. Mostly new style classes for PyTest, at least. There were a couple cases, that's not a word. There were a couple cases where it did other neat stuff, like the super calls, or changing 6 usage to just use stir. This is a side effect of the... I got rid of the 8% format argument, because It can sometimes change a not Unicode aware app in Python 2 under weird cases, and PyTest has enough weird cases that I wasn't comfortable trying to track down every Unicode bug in Python 2 again. But in Python 3, format works the same as percent format, so this is a safe operation. What else did we do? This is more of the format rewrite, as well as this one. More supers. This one, Black decided to rewrite some stuff, which was okay, I guess. More 6. I just actually didn't use 6 all that much because it was introduced relatively late into the project, and it used to have its own like compat module that would do other stuff. Oh, this is just silly. It shouldn't have been this way. It should have just been a U right here because this is a literal. But whatever, it's fixed now. No more. So this actually happened in 2 phases. So the first phase, it converted this into stir, and then the second phase, it removed the stir around it. Can't really see that here. So I had to run pyupgrade twice. That was fine. But anyway, there's a whole slew of changes similar to that were completely automated. Nice. And then everything after that was kind of manual. Like this one, I removed coding UTF-8 and future imports from our code strings. The one thing that PyTest does a lot is it splats a code string into a directory and then runs PyTest over that to make sure that, like, I don't know, it can test some random code. But because they're code strings, they have to have these Python 2 things, and linters don't really check these code strings, and so you can do pretty strange things in those, and the linters won't clean that up for you. But I went through and I was the manual code formatter and fixed all that up. And yeah. All for time some more. And then there were a couple cases, like codex.open was just replaced with open. And this got removed. Oh, there was this whole file that was completely unused because it was only used in Python 2, and so we were able to just delete that. And we removed 6 from dependencies. No more 6 as a direct dependency. It probably still gets pulled in from one of these others, but not needed anymore in PyTest. 07. We'll pour one out for our good friend 6. Yeah. What else did we change? Oh, I had to fix this line number. And the reason for that is I removed a future import here, and so that caused this warning to be on a different line. This was so annoying. I was pretty mad about having to fix this. F's in the chat for 6. Yeah. GG6, you served us well. Oh, and then we found that in python3.8 this offset changed. So we had to fix it. But that was my big change, which cleaned up a lot of our Python 2 code. Pretty cool. Note branches. Oh yeah, what's up, outdated version? Discussed briefly on stream. Nice. I'll make sure to look at this later. But yeah, thanks for the issue. I'll see if I can give you an option for that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I did a bunch of like small manual cleanups to PyTest. Get us into more of a Python 3 only state. This one I would like to do with pyupgrade at some point. This should be fully automatable. It's a little bit tricky because you need to know where the literal starts and ends to properly do that. But I think there's already code which handles this for the what is it called? For the shoot. Oh, the format rewriter does the same thing. So it does the implicit string joining. Future feature that I'll probably hack on stream unless Max gets to it before I do, because he has a tendency to just implement my features, which is fine. No problem there. But I guess that should encourage me to make a bug report for it, because then someone else will do it for me, and then I don't have to do it. So I guess I'll do that real quick. Place ASCII literal dot encode with byte strings. This is doable in Python 2, Python 2 as well. My girlfriend says, "Are you watching code again? You're so weird." You're not even watching code. You're watching me make GitHub issues. That's even worse. Oh no. Oh. More symbols. Dang it. I could get an issue with the boys. Yep, nice cold GitHub issue. She thinks I'm weird for watching code. Yeah, yeet. Isn't that what eng managers do? I'll ask her and get back to you. So the two basic cases are encode with no argument, which defaults to ASCII in Python 2, and UTF-8 in Python 3, which can just be a bytes literal. And any of the UTF-8 ones can also be converted, and technically any of the other ASCII compatible codecs, but these are the most common, so there's no reason to handle the other ones. But the thing to be careful about here is this cannot be rewritten, because in Python 3, you have a bytes literal with a Unicode character in it, you get a syntax error. This does actually work in Python 2, though, for dumb reasons. But I'm not gonna judge Python 2. So my symbols patch script only works for the main symbols file, but this actually changed stuff in the debug build, so we have to manually adjust that one. Dead Snakes, Python 3.8. Which file is this? libpython, libpver, debug, symbols.in. And so I have to manually sort this. So py wide string list check consistency. I don't even see that. Oh, this wster list went away, and we replaced it with it. Which was introduced in Alpha 4. Right. So now we're introducing it in Beta 1. Okay, so that's not so bad. I just had to change this. Updated version says, "I'm going to bed at night, fellas. Thanks for stopping by. I'll hopefully fix your GitHub issue for you. Yeah, have a good sleep." Ooh, what is that? Wait, oh, that's actually the wave emoji. I see. It's like, what Twitch emote is that? No, it's just the standard wave. Man, that's annoying. How did they change this? What is my usual commit for that? Is there really a file called libpython? The scroll wheel not working. Oh. And we gotta do the whole dance again. Base up this one. Reorder these two commits. And we're back to building again. I love it when people fix my issues. If only people did that at work more. Yeah. Oh, so true. I feel like I fix a lot of other people's issues and no one fixes mine. But that's not always true. Like Max will fix my issues from time to time. Yeah, back to building again. I guess I can finish writing this issue up. This is doable in Python 2 as well. Yes. True. More complicated cases. Not print. We'll just do F. This is the one where it's like slightly more tricky because it has to find all of these string literals and do that. Anyway, maybe someone will pick that up. But one quick thing I can do while this is building is finish up this, or at least work on this, because I didn't implement the sys.version checks, and so we can do that real quick. I say, not knowing how long it's gonna take. Oh, one other cool thing that I set up while I'm on a tangent. I realize that I often make these small, interesting scripts that are almost always called t.py. And most of them I just delete and then never think about them again. But sometimes I think to myself, man, I wish I had that script that I definitely had a while ago but just deleted. And so now what I've been doing is I made this repo where I just essentially dump gists into here. Why t.py? It's a good question. I don't know. I think I actually stole it from, or I stole that naming convention from a previous coworker of mine who, I actually don't know how I picked it up from him too, because at first I was like, you're insane. If you ran ls in his home directory, he essentially had, actually I think I can probably reproduce it. How would I do that? Seek 150 touch oh shit, end the single quote, start. Oh, no, I don't know. But anyway, you would run ls in his home directory and it would be a triangle of files named t, tt, ttt, ttt, .sh, .py, whatever extension he needed. I've just been using it because it's easy to type. I don't know why. Sometimes it's x.py, sometimes it's t.py, but anyway, I've basically been collecting. I started collecting these scripts. These are the 3 scripts that I wrote within the last 2 days that were still on my hard drive when I got this idea. The first one was actually this one, and I actually wrote this for someone in Discord, Swills, who might still be in chat. But it's a script which you pass it a dependency, and it'll tell you what it depends on. So basically the way it works is it downloads the wheel from pip and then analyzes the metadata and spits it out. It can also include all of the extras, which for Celery is a little complicated. Oh, it was you. Yeah, I thought so. It's like I'm pretty sure I remember that, but it's kind of a hack. Because I knew import lib metadata supported this dependency tracing, but it only works if it's on sys.path. So I did some hacky stuff there to make that work. But that was kind of cool. This one, we have this weird build failure that basically spews this in PyTest a bunch, and it occasionally happens on the pre-commit build as well. But I managed to narrow it down to this script here, which just allocates a bunch of, or like loops a bunch of times. It always raises an exception, and it tries to run io.open on a directory, which I learned in C is technically legal. What are all the headers that I need? Open function C. Int main. Technically has to be void, right? Yeah, it's been a while since I've written C. But if you open dot with read only, what was the other flag that I needed? Maybe that's the only flag I need. %d \n. Yeah, so it successfully open. You can run open on a directory, which I don't actually know what would happen if you tried to read it, but apparently that's legal. And this is what PyPy was doing, was opening this file descriptor and then never freeing it, and so it was causing this to crap out, basically. But I managed to get to the bottom of it by writing this little script, and this was my test bed to figure out whether I fixed it or not. And then I made a change to PyPy, bucket.org, PyPy, pull request, merge, this one. I fixed the open function in a Python interpreter. It was just this one line fix, but it's pretty cool. Die.net. Their man pages are always so old. I guess I haven't worked with them, so I don't know. Don't know enough on that department. But that was that file, this t.py. And then I had one more. What was the other one? Oh, there's a bug in PyTest that I was trying to reproduce. Oh, that was where you looked up the open man page. Oh, I see. This one. Oh, literally die.net. I see. This one at least worked, but you're right. They're super out of date. The one, what's the up-to-date one? I usually use the Debian one, because that one's usually pretty up to date. This one, but not Jesse. Here's the version picker. Let's change this to Buster. Really, that'll work. I don't know why. I mean, sysv init is probably not going to work. final packaging step, so hopefully that'll work its way out. Okay, so I'm gonna need to keep some additional state here. So right now we have, we know all of the sys from imports, but we also need to now know the sys from imports. Let's see. Actually, we really only care about whether version info is imported. Version info imported equals false. If the module is sys and any name.name is equal to version info and not name.asName for name in node.names. Oh, it finished. Okay, so once that builds properly, then I have what is the script called? Quick test. How do I run the script? Quick test with distrib codename bionic. The blue sheets are back. Yeah, you're right, Mindful Fox. I've changed my sheets back to blue. This is actually a different set of blue sheets than the old ones, because the old ones are in a different closet. But got my blue sheets back, so now it doesn't look like I have a perpetual floor with really weird dimensions, and I'm like sinking into the ground. Yeah, how's your Wednesday going? I have 3 sheets. Wowee. Yeah. Yeah. Look at me, adult life, 3 sets of sheets. It's taking so long. What are you doing? Wet the bed much? Yeah, that's totally why. You got me. Wednesday's going. How's yours? Pretty good. I had a long day at work. I'm currently juggling. I'm dealing with like 5 or 6 different teams right now because I'm trying to port a bunch of services to Python 3 to see like what is problematic or not. And I don't know, it's a lot of people problems to just like essentially herd cats across 4 or 5 different teams to get them to like, hey, I want to deploy your service. Can you let me deploy your service? Yeah, cool. Like, oh, can you now check it in staging and make sure it still works? And they're like, okay, I guess. And then they get back to me like 2 hours later, it works. Like, cool. We're like, hey, review my pull request. It will make your stuff faster. And like, it's a lot of like, I don't know, it's exhausting, but it's progressing, which is good. Okay, cool. So this test script passed, which means that this is ready to upload. So one thing that I usually do right before is make sure I put my changelog last, and then other than that, I can do runbooks, was it release? And then that will build the final package, and it'll prompt me for my GPG key, and then it'll upload that package. And then I'll do the same for Xenial, but Xenial will be easier because I basically just have to apply the same thing again. You still have a Umish account. Yes, it lasts forever. Where did that show up? How did you see that? Oh, in the git log, yeah. Yeah, I still use my university email for open source stuff. So like all of my commits here are from my Umish email. Or well, this is the person that I merged it from. Yeah, still use my university email. The university was like, you'll have this for life. It's never going away. So feel free to continue with it. And so I don't know. It looks professional enough. And asatilli@gmail.com was taken, unfortunately. I can still get student discounts, true. Also, another thing that I can do, I can make infinite.edu email addresses by going to, what is it? mcommunity.umish.edu. Is it this one? Am I logged in is the other question. I am not logged in. I'm logged in on my other computer though. Or my other browser. But I can make... I'm not logged in here either. Oh yeah, I am. But I can make infinite Google Groups using this. Which means that I can just like make as many email addresses as I want. Expires March of 2020. We'll just update these since I'm here. I have to click this button once a year. Just so I don't lose these. But I can make a Google group, which then has an email address associated with it. This one is harp.darp at umish.edu. I also have herpderp at umish.edu. I also own Rafflecopter. This one I had to steal because someone else had it and they forgot to refresh it, and so I was like, "This is mine now." Because apparently someone else is doing the same idea. But you can actually email Rafflecopter at umish.edu and it ends up in my inbox. The other fun thing, I used this to like mess with students, because students would like hit we had like a help email list, and if they ever asked like a really stupid question, I would just reply as herp.derp and just like mess with them, because Gmail lets you send like any email address you can verify goes to your account, you can send as this one. Oh, literally Anthony So Silly at umish.edu. Clever past me. And Asatilli 2, I made that one to sign up for something, if I remember right, and get like a edu discount. But yeah, so I can make infinite.edu email addresses if I want to, which is kind of cool. It's also super cheaty, but oh dang it. I didn't sign it fast enough, so now I gotta do this again. Did you call students dumb fucks like Mark Zuckerberg? No. We were extremely empathetic towards our students. Now granted, sometimes we would get frustrated with them, like, not getting what we're trying to... Like, we gave them the answers as much as possible. But sometimes we would have to lead them into it so that hopefully they would learn. Hey, what's up, Yaja? I don't know. Yaja401, thank you for the follow. Every follow counts. But yeah, often we would have to spend a bunch of time like strongly convincing the students how the right answer was. But no, we never called them dumb fucks. We were very nice to our students, although some of us were not nice, but like I was very nice, and the people that I spent most of my time with were very good. We were a good bunch of kids. Okay, cool. So now we can put in the password. Do I have to do it twice? No, I only have to do it twice for Xenial, which is weird. But then it automatically uploads to the FTP. It'll also automatically tag my commit and push that. And I've automated all that part because it used to be super tedious. Were you on ratemyprofessor.com? I was for a while. Let's see if those are still there. Rate my professors with an S. Yeah, fuck it. Oh, not anymore. But yeah, I was on Rate My Professor for a while, even though I'm not a professor. But cool. That does Bionic. I need to now do Xenial as well. At our trusty run book. So the first step I need is this. I wonder if it just works if I'm not on the right branch. Onto Xenial. Okay, cool. So this is what I was talking about before, where there were conflicts in the patch files, and so I have to resolve these conflicts. Fortunately, I know how to resolve these from before. I need to do this, and this, and this. And my script is not quite smart enough, so I have to like tell it to like it's dropped me into a subshell, and it has to like look at the return code, which is unfortunate because that's just how the rebasing thing works. But I need to get rebase continue and then exit 0, if I remember right. I'm in the middle of the rebase and I have merge conflicts. Is it possible to save my changes and switch branches? You can always abort the rebase and then you can switch branches, but I don't actually, like, I'm always super scared of, like, running anything other than the rebase commands while I'm in a rebase, because, I mean, rebase is already a, like, chainsaw pointed at your face, and, like a gun pointed at your foot in one hand and a one-handed chainsaw on the others, and like it's so easy to accidentally lose all of your changes doing that. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna cheat on this a little bit. I think I can cherry pick all of the changes that I made on the Bionic branch. Git show or git log ubuntu bionic. So I should be able to cherry pick these. But I'll have to reapply this patch and this patch. Oh, I can take this one too. Cherry pick that. I gotta move this to the bottom and put these in the same order as they are here. I'll have to do this patch separately because I'm pretty sure it'll break stuff in the current way. And then I should modify the change logs. That includes this sentence. And then I'll have to make sure this builds, which is going to take a while again. Patch Q, Ubuntu, Bionic. So I'll need to cherry pick this when I'm on a patch Q. Awesome. Hey, what's up, Crash Bunny? Thank you for the follow. Every follow counts. Same, I lost my changes recently. Yeah, there you go. What build tool do you use? For Debian packaging? So I'm using a combination of a couple tools kind of wrapped together. So first, like, I have a bunch of build tools that I've written, and these are all in Python. And the basic tool that they're wrapping is this tool called GBP, which is git build package, which has a bunch of subcommands. And I'm using GBP inside of Docker, so Python, Docker, GBP, a little bit of Bash, and then dpackage underneath all of that. So it's kind of it's a bit over-engineered, but it saved me a bunch of time by writing out these scripts each time. And most of the time when I used to do all the steps manually, I would have like these 15 to 20 minute period where I'm just like waiting for it to build. And so during that 15 to 20 minute period, I would write out these scripts so that it's not a problem anymore. Git branch -d patch q ubuntu xenial. So this is where I'm gonna make a patch queue, apply a patch, and then import that patch queue again. That's what the PQ stands for. But I already did this before, so I can just cherry pick this change again. In theory, this is going to be the only change that I'll need, but in practice, I'm probably going to have to make a bunch of other changes because the version of Sphinx in Xenial is even older than the one in Bionic. It's just the way things go. So then we export that. What did I use? This is the commit message last time. Went to Bionic. Fix build for old Sphinx. Rebase again. Reorder the commit. I guess I can just rebase on this. Although wait, let me put it in the same order. Rebase on this. Just to make things consistent. This log should now look basically this. Cool. And then we'll just build this. 9 commits ahead. I guess that makes sense. And I saved myself a little bit of time while I was setting up the stream, and I pre-built this Docker image so that this happened immediately. Otherwise, we would have been waiting forever, and no one likes that. It's no fun. Oh, and I got this email from Launchpad that says that they have accepted my package. That doesn't mean that it's gonna build properly, but it's at least accepted so that it starts building. And that takes another 20 to 30 minutes on their build infrastructure. Dead Snakes PK. The way I can usually look at that is by opening this up, and then where do I go from here? Oh, do I have to log in? Let me do it on my other Firefox where I'm logged in. I don't have to try and password naggle. Logged in here. We should be able to see builds somewhere. 4 packages building. Apparently we're building for ARM. Cool. But the AMD 64 ones are the ones that I care about. Yeah, runs the builds on someone else's free infrastructure, so we get pre-built packages. And, yeah, that's the basic procedure. Cool. So I'm gonna context switch back to pyupgrade. I guess I can. Oh no. No. So annoying. Maybe I can do this and then nope. Make this one taller. Alright, fine. There we go. This was a suggestion by chat, so we're gonna try it for the stream and see how it goes. Version info and so I'm basically copying and pasting this, but instead of 6 dot something, it'll be sys dot something. In particular, sys dot version info. The message about what you're doing is not only informative, but serves to keep the stream on track with OKRs. You know, Breadstick Zero, as a software engineer, I feel that we should always stick to our OKRs. Oh, I'm referencing a GitHub PR that I got a little bit salty about. Forget if I showed this already on stream, but I'll show it again. So this guy, which like to his credit, like maybe he's not English as a first language, and like maybe he doesn't realize that this isn't quite an appropriate thing to say, but whatever. I'm okay grilling him on it. But this sentence just like set me off like no other. As a software engineer, I'd like to see tests for all supported versions of Python on CI. And I was like, but don't you fucking do that. He also like changed my infra to use Tox Travis instead of just Tox, and I was like, no, please don't. And like changed how my matrix works, and then like switched me from coverage to pytest cov, and like fucked up my Tox file, and like all sorts of stuff, and it was just like, bud. Eng manager girlfriend is taking this person's side. It's acceptance criteria. Jesus. But I don't know, you don't just do this and then rewrite someone's infra. So I was like, please no. And then I'm moving away, and this is where I flexed a little bit. So I was like, I think I know what I'm doing. I maintain both Tox and pytest. Please don't do this. And especially don't do all of those in one PR. Yeah. I mean, and maybe make an issue for it first, and like not just like come in and rewrite. Probably user stories damage my brain too much. Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah. But anyway, that's what I'm referencing when I say, as a software engineer, blah 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 blah. It's the user stories. Anyway. Okay, so we need to add more clauses to these if statements here, basically. Or I feel like these are in the wrong spot. Maybe I could do this. 6 sys dot version info equals 2. Is instance node.test ast.pair, I think. Test is a compare, which has a left, which will be an attribute, and then a single op, which is an equals. Compare and node.left. And the left is a version info, and the length of node.test or node.test.left. The length of node.test.ops is equal to 1, and node.test.ops 0 is a equal. And the comparator is a num. Node.test. Comparators 0. So we know that there's only one comparator because there's only one op, so I don't have to duplicate this length check here. And node.test.comparator 0 dot n is equal to 2. So this is all the code that I have to write to check for a check that's sys.version equals sys.version info equals 2. And while we're at it, I can actually copy and paste this and do the same for 3, since we have to do that as well. I'll skip the TDD. I will write a test for it, but get the TDD on this one. So given that, able to run this test, and it did not work. Why not? At least debug it though. Okay. stpretty.pprint node. Okay, so we have test as a compare. Let's end through this. Okay, so here's where we have our compare. Is instance node.test. I guess it's copy and paste here. Okay, so that's true. Here's the version info. That's false. Okay, so we'll step into that one. Node is an attribute. This should be true, right? It is an attribute, and it's a name. Did I do 6.version info? Oh, I also see my build failed. No, I did 6.version info. So this should succeed now. Nope, still failing. Alright, we'll debug that in a second. We gotta figure out what this build is here. Warning, document isn't included in any talk. What is this? Note this document is being retained solely until the set of tools documentation independently covers all the relevant. Acetylate, why are all your program names so dang long? Which program name is long? I mean, reorder Python imports is long. That one's probably the longest program name that I have. ASDPretty is pretty short. Pyupgrade is pretty short. Yes, QA is short. Recommit is a little long, but not that long. Which one are you complaining about? Or do you want them to just be like PC? and not more verbose? I guess the problem is that, oh, add trailing comma, yeah, that one's pretty long. BF tab complete, it's not a big deal. I think the problem is I like functional names, and so I've stuck with functional names for all these things. How do I make this not an error? Or what changed here, I guess is the better question. I assume this used to work. Earn more legacy distutils documentation. We created this file though. To include. Why does it need to be? Bleh. How come reorder Python imports has underscores in the name but not any other of the repos? Because I'm an idiot. It's one of my oldest repos, and it's the first one that has underscores, and then I realized I didn't like underscores. However, if you want, you can actually type it with dashes, and it redirects. Because I always forget which way it is, whether it's dashes or underscores. Oh, also, I noticed a cool thing that happened over the weekend. Precommit hit 3,000 stars, which is cool, I guess. Finally got over the hump. That's unrelated. But yeah, I wish it was dashes. Unfortunately now to change it, like everything else is like, it's so much work to fix it. I'd have to change IPI. I guess I wouldn't have to change all that much. I would have to change this file. And I have to sed these to dashes in all my pre-commit configurations. It's not that much work, but it's enough for me to just like not change it. But every other part about it is dashes. So like the executable is dashes, and the pre-commit entry is dashes. But it used to be underscores. I just changed it at some point. I can probably get rid of this now. I don't really care about version 0.15.0. When did that even come out? 0.15.0. Oh, I guess not. I thought it was further back than that, but I guess it's only been 1 year, almost 2 years. I did a flurry of work in this was when I quit my job on 5/31 and then had a bunch of free time, so I worked on pre-commit until 8 is August, right? Till September 17th when I started at Lyft. So wait, it was the 17th when I started at Lyft? I click through calendar. Somewhere around here is when I started at Lyft. Did a bunch of work when I wasn't working. It was good. But now I gotta figure out how to work around this stupid thing. I'm getting this warning, so am I. Sphinx will complain about this whether the file is included or not. However, you can explicitly exclude files. If you want to include a document in another document, how do you figure a talk tree? Add orphan to the top of your document. That seems like a good thing. We'll try that. I don't know why I didn't have to do this on the Bionic branch though. Maybe Sphinx has gotten better about this somehow? Who knows? What is that file? Set of tools disclaimer. So like I said, the documentation build is the most annoying part of this. So I put orphan at the top. That should, in theory, fix this. Mark set of tools disclaimer as orphan. Export. Then we got a rebase again. Not origin slash, just this. And hopefully that fixes things. And if it does, I will give this person an upvote. I'll give this person an upvote whether or not, because it's a good question, and hopefully this is the right answer. If this is a good one. I'll probably downvote the other. Indentation worked. But I'm hoping this works. I don't want to fiddle with an exclude option. What was I talking about? What was I doing? Oh, this was not working. I needed to figure out why. Oh, damn it. I forgot to add the file. Fortunately, GBP errors on that pretty early, so it can tell me what's wrong and then I can fix it. That is true. That is true. Oh, I forgot to copy the whole thing. But 1 is equal to 1, so that is true. Is it an equal? Yes. Oh, this should have been .num. At least I saw it. I'm confident, so I'm deleting the breakpoint. Pretty sure it's gonna work this time. It's supposed to be 3, and I got 3. Oh, I needed a new line. So I should also do one in the opposite direction, which is sys.version equals 3. And that should also result in a 3. And clearly it does. Oh, because I fixed the one code, but I didn't fix the copy and paste. This is why I shouldn't have copy and paste. Got myself. So I didn't fix this one here. Cool. Okay, so that'll satisfy 2 of these things. Is these 2 boxes, but we also want to do these ones. So I can actually do this in an OR. But then the indentation sucks. Now this line's too long. It'd be cool if I could just say like eq 2 or et 3. Maybe I'll make helper functions for that. +1 for helper functions. Cool. We have approval in the chat. Let's see. We want like self.eq node.test. Yes. But this is always going to be constant. Return node dot, or I guess this is the test node. Test dot, oh, you can even put a type annotation here. Even though I don't type check this yet. But one day I will type check this, and then this will be helpful. The test.ops0 and this type annotation is wrong, and I have an argument called 2. Okay, so without breaking everything, let's just make sure that this still passes. I'll do this down here. Not because I dirt. Technically. Problem is, for this one, I need to use less than or greater than or equal to. So, need more of like a compare helper function with an operator, and then tuple 0, which will just be the integer that's in the beginning of the tuple. If pre-commit and your brother were drowning and you could only save one, who would you save? Why is it pre-commit? Oh, I'm pretty sure I would save my brother. But that's pretty funny. Clip that shit. Oh, man. Sorry, bro. Let's see. For the Python 2, it'd be less than 3. Oh, this tup 0 is always going to be 3. Oh, wait. I guess I can do... No? I think these are the only ones I can compare against. There's no 2 here. What about greater than or equal to 3, 0? Yeah, that works here because I'm only looking at the first element of the tuple. I'm doing comparator 0, elements 0 is a number, and that number is equal to 3. And so that'll fall into the same as this one here. Did you see the new Pokemon? I did watch the trailer today. I guess I can give you my thoughts. Actually, I recorded my thoughts because my brother was like, watch it so we can talk about it. Let's see what I said. Oh, first I complained about YouTube. I guess I can just drag this over here and you guys can read it with me, and then I don't have to look like a weirdo. This is my brother. He's like, oh, what is going on? Yep, still listening. Give me my tunes. We were talking about some object-oriented design here. Check out the direct so we can discuss. Give me the link. And he was so helpful. He linked me directly to when it started. And then I was like, what the fuck? Why'd you link me to 28 minutes in? He's like, oh, that's when it starts. Yeah. There was one part where a guy was biking on water, which I thought was weird. The giant mons look game-breaking, unless it's cosmetic. It is not. Can you send me that link? Yeah, I'll send you the link. Drop it in chat for you all. Oh, God, that was not the link. Don't click on that. Look in Facebook. There you go. There's the link. So there's this new thing called like Dynamaxing or some Dynamaxing. I don't know. It sounds like a male enhancement pill. So I think I said that somewhere down there, but it was just like, ugh, what a dumb fucking name. Oh, they introduced another sheep, which I was like, Mareep V2, but unfortunately it's normal type. Gossifleur looks pretty cool, but I also think it's kind of like a Flabébé knockoff. Corviknight looks really cool. Corviknight Pokemon. This one looks really cool. I'm hoping he's not trash. But he looks pretty cool. Sorry about the spoilers if anyone, well, it's too late now. Flying Steel, yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know. I think it'll be kind of like, it'll probably be like a more offensive Skarmory. It has the same types. Skarmory V2, yeah. I mean, they're running out of type combinations. They're probably going to reuse a bunch of them. Then we talked about the name length thing, which apparently I just didn't notice. Then I was sad when I saw Gossifleur evolved into a Dandelion. Gossifleur... Wikipedia. So Gossifleur looks pretty cool, but then, like, I thought this guy was kind of lame. Like, I thought this design was pretty good until I realized, oh, it's just a Dandelion. Literally just a Dandelion. Like, of course, why would it be anything but a Dandelion? Dynamax, what a dumb fucking name. Might as well have called it Viagra. They introduced a raid concept, which actually seems kind of cool. I want to know if you can solo them. I was the kind of person, like, when I would play Borderlands, I would try and solo the raid bosses, and that was kind of fun. But if you can't solo them, then I don't know. Do you think the sword is part of the dog's body? Okay, yeah, we'll get to those in a sec. Leon is like the champion, and he seems like a pompous asshole, and so I was like, I immediately want to kick his ass. And then he's probably lame compared to Cynthia, because Cynthia, let's be real, Cynthia is the best of all time. No one can be better than Cynthia. My brother's hoping that he's strong because, I don't know, the last couple of games have been pretty pushovery. Cynthia is a badass, yeah. The rival's name is Hop. Which, I don't know, I got such a laugh out of that, and I was at work, and everyone around me was just like, what are you okay? Like, what are you laughing at? But I was concerned that I only saw Pokeballs in the Direct, but apparently that's, like, standard fare for the pack that they show off. Mostly because I really like Dusk Balls. That's my Pokeball of choice. That's what I try and catch all my shiny Pokemon in. Why is this gym leader's head so small? Oh yeah, let me see if we can get a picture of that. Bulbapedia. What is this region even called? British region gym leader. No. This little, I can wiki chain there. Let's see. Sword and Shield gym leaders. This dude. Maybe this isn't a good photo of it, but like in the Direct, his head was just so small. So small. He didn't work on head day. Yeah. My brother is hilarious. He's super buff though. Never skip head day. I think the dogs are kind of lame personally, but that's just me. Maybe they'll be cooler later. But this is the sword dog and this is the shield dog. Which are names that I'm never going to properly pronounce. I do think that the sword is part of his body. I do think this sword is part of his body. That guy's goals though, look at his quads. Wait, where'd he go? Jesus. Actually, my legs kind of look like that. Not quite this much here, but he's a chunky boy. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like the dogs. They'll probably grow on me. I also didn't like fuck, what was it? The legendaries in Sun and Moon. I liked the Sun legendary. I didn't like the Moon legendary. What is it called? Lunala. I didn't really like Lunala. Like, it's kind of a cool design in retrospect, but I just, I don't know, thought it was kind of a... Okay, that's off screen for you guys, but anyway, all these are the same photo. I didn't really like the Sun and Moon legendaries, but then they kind of grew on me. I don't know, they were okay by the end. But what else did we have to say? Star Fox Nintendogs crossover in the Pokemon region. Yeah, because they kind of look like Star Foxy inspired-ish. I don't know what I'm talking about. Then I made some predictions about competitive, which are probably never going to become true. There's some moves. Well, Endeavor is a move that matches your opponent's HP to yours. And one thing about Dynamaxing that they found is that it multiplies your HP by like 1.66 or something like that. And so you could probably abuse Endeavor and Pain Split to kind of make that buff not as useful. Maybe if they get enough backlash, they'll redesign the Pokemon like Sonic. Yeah. I don't know. I think people are mostly happy about this, although I haven't like been on the Pokemon Reddit, so I haven't seen how other people are reacting to this. I just know how I'm reacting and how my brother is. He's like real mad about the Dynamaxing stuff because it's gonna break competitive. Like competitive's gonna be not fun again, which is unfortunate. But you know, Endeavor's pretty gimmicky. Yeah. If all stats are increased by 66%, it's just gonna be super broken. Also, yeah, Dynamax seems really overpowered because it's basically 3 turns of being super buff, and unless Protect is really good. Now we're just talking about stats and stuff. Every move is a Z move, yeah. Which version do you think I'll get? Literal coin flip. So my brother and I do this thing where we don't ever like, we don't actually explicitly say it, but every year that a Pokemon game comes out, we each buy each other the second version that we didn't buy, so that we both have both copies. And so like, yeah. And this is a cursed image because everyone, or at least maybe not everyone, but my brother and I are really sick of firefighting starters. Because Pokemon seems to just do that over and over and just make more and more firefighting starters. And so we're pretty salty about Double Kick being a move here. Is this just a Torchic reskin? Oh, and then I had this tweets that I found. I found the legendary, guys. Look, it's the shield legendary. Or no, the sword legendary. And then I don't know, the rest of it's not important, but that's my thoughts on the Nintendogs. This build succeeded though. Let's see if my quick test passes. And then I might be done packaging that stuff. What about rewriting greater than or equal to 3,6 when Pi3.6 Plus is passed? Maybe I might do that as like a second patch. Do you think he would just bump his head on a doggy door over and over trying to get in? Yeah. What is the dog with stick fence thing? I don't know. There's like a dog that has a stick in its mouth and it's trying to go between a fence. I'm never gonna find it. It's the worst like Google ever. How to stop your dog from jumping the fence? Great. Yeah, we're never gonna find that. Also, risky searches while streaming and save search off. Google Images. Although maybe I have Sage Search on. I don't know. Use Google Images for that. Cool, this passed. So we can run the release here. And I can go upvote that guy and stack overflow. Thank you, friend. And your suggestion sucks. Oh, I'm the only downvote. Oh well. I'm okay sacrificing 1 point. Although his solution probably works, but this is way better. Actually, that's not how you're supposed to use downvotes, so we'll undownvote this guy. We'll just not upvote him. Dog finally gets stick through fencegate.jpg. This is not the one I was thinking of, but it's the same idea. Nice. Yeah, now I have to do the GPG signing, and I'm pretty sure I have to sign this one twice, whereas I only had to sign the other one once. And I think that's just like a thing that they fixed in the GPG tooling, but I don't know. Assuming that I'm typing the right password. Hopefully that worked. Find out. I feel like there's something missing between pick 2 and 3. Yeah, probably. Why is this so zoomed in? Uploads that, and then that should be done. Let's see if the other builds. Oh no. Failed builds. No! Oh, it's the 32-bit build too. Show you guys what I'm looking at. That's not what I wanted. Where's the log? Here's the log. It built properly, it looks like. It probably just failed on symbols at the end. No? Oh yeah, here we go. I fixed this. Oh, why is there a separate one? That's annoying. That's annoying. I should have git crept for that last time. Oh well. Hi wster list. Hi wster list. Stupid 32-bit builds. I don't even know if anyone actually uses them, but support them anyway. And then I have to figure out, and then I have to remember the command to make another changelog. Plus Xenial 2. Fix 32-bit build. Adding symbol. Change this to Xenial. And then I think I can just use my release script again. Hopefully. Hopefully this cancels that other build. And then I need to cherry pick that to the bionic brain. Man, they had like, I guess you can't call it. It would have been cool if it was called Bionicle, but you I guess I see why you can't. Sorry, work stuff. People are pinging me, but they can just on sand, I guess. Please try again. Let me try again. Where's my... Do I just type it in here? I might not have typed my password on stream. That's gonna be real shitty. It worked. Then I have to like mess with GPGs. RIP Bionicles. Yeah. Apparently they're still a thing. Like people still make new ones. Apparently they're like, well, maybe that's not true. Availability to 2016. Huh. Maybe they are dead. Wait, seriously? In Friends there was Bionicle? They're that old? No. What? I had no idea. Huh. I didn't realize Bionicle was way back in 2001. Fuck, I'm old. Right? Same. It's crazy. What was my changelog? Fix 32-bit build. Then we'll run that release, and then within an hour, people should be able to have packages. Oh, actually, I think I can already get packages. Because I'm not 32-bit, fortunately. I find it weird that this one on the left finished before this one on the right. Even though the one on the right started first. Yeah, I can already update Python 3.8. I'll use the graphical update manager because I am a pleb. Oh, Visual Studio Code has an update too. See, this used to drop frames every time I would run apt update with my old internet. I was so sad about that. It still drops some frames this stream, but we're gonna update the kernel too. It's gonna be fun times. Ah! Signature verify error. Seems not good. Is this hacking? Yes, I just type my password in all the time. Hacking into the Gibsons. But we're installing Python 3.8, I guess. Butterfly emoji. In theory, Python 3.8 version should be 8 beta 1. And I bet if I Control-C my chatbot, it'll be broken. Yeah. Cannot import name open code from IO. unfortunately, we can just delete the virtual environment and bring it back. But the chatbot won't work until I bring it back up. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do live patch. No, thank you. Does my bot still work? Oh no, there's a warning at the top. Stream Writer is deprecated since Python 3.8 in favor of Stream. Open Connection is deprecated in favor of Connect. I think this one is actually in my code. I don't know what these ones are about. Oh. This is just in a type annotation. Guess we can fix that. So I just do stream reader. I just change this to connect. Does that work? Let's see what MyPy has to say about it. MyPy does not have anything to say about it. So we will not be doing that until MyPy updates. Discard, yes, yes. No. Did you go to PyCon? Yes, I did, and this is the 2019 PyCon t-shirt, which, yes, PyCon. It was pretty awesome. I actually did a small recap of it on stream at some point. Did I? Hopefully I mentioned it in the title. Let's see, videos, when was that? PyCon 2019, yeah, so I did my recap in this video, if you want to check that out. It was good, met a bunch of people. I didn't realize there were builds of 3.8 out. Well, triple equals. Yeah, they have alphas and betas, and they're released betas, I guess. Well, here's the easiest way to see. Like, beta 1 just got released yesterday, and I packaged Pythons for Ubuntu in the form of backports in the Dead Snakes PPA. And so I spent most of the stream today working on the Python 3.8 backport and building that several times. But I'm now done with that. So we can put a checkbox there. And now I'm gonna work a little bit more on pyupgrade to get that working. The old code? This is the old code. Okay, so in the 2 case, it's going to be less than Python 3. Or that's not how it works. AST.LT. I should be doing some TDD for this. Or greater than or equal to 3. Technically, I could probably also do greater than here, which is fine. Did you give a talk about pre-commit? No, I didn't actually give any talks this time. I missed the call for proposal and unfortunately didn't get a talk in. Triple equals says number 1. which I believe is that the Fortnite number 1? I don't actually play Fortnite. I don't actually know. Compare. I think I could do this. op.gt or op.gte. Someone, I guess, could write it like this as well. No, I don't have tests for these, but let me write tests after the fact. Closest thing to compliment emoji I could find. There's a what is it? There's like a dude with a thumbs up. One of the default emojis. Default emoji Twitch. Thought it was a default emoji. Am I going to find it? Yeah, that one. Seems good, yes. That was the one. I'm glad you found it. Okay, so we'll copy and paste this one to also get the less than a tuple of 3. And we'll also do another test where it's less than 3, 0, I guess. Oh, actually, shoot. This is gonna do the wrong thing. I need to change my tuple check to check for zeros. Because right now it'll, like, if you had code that was like, if sys.version info is greater than 3, 6, and you had code like this, right now it's gonna find this as a Python 3 branch and this is a Python 2 branch and delete this. So I need to fix that. But 3.3, 0 is fine. So we'll keep that. Also add the tests for down here. Hey, what's up, Triple Equals? Thank you for the sub. I don't get subs very often, but every sub counts. Thank you, friend. Up to 4 sub points. Wow, look at me. Breadstick Zero is gonna head out. Thanks for stopping by, friend. See you around, I'm sure. Yeah, this is gonna be broken, so we need to fix that. I will test TDD this one since I didn't TDD the rest of it, but time to quit your day job. Yeah. No, I make like 0 off Twitch, so there's no quitting my day job. As much as I actually enjoy my job. I wouldn't want to quit. But it would be cool if like I actually made money. But I don't, so I don't. That's just the way it is. Don't rewrite version compares with deeper. That's a bad with not 3.0 compares, something like that. Just to have that example there. Where do you work? I work at Lyft. I work as a infrastructure developer on the developer experience team. And what the developer experience team does is we build tools and software for other developers, and we try and make them productive. But turns out it's hard. Should be ast.lt. Oh no, this is gonna be one character too long. No. We'll just change this to compare to 3. But I didn't finish what I was saying, I guess. So I work on a team called Developer Experience. We build infrastructure for developers. We have kind of 2 main parts that at least I focus on. One of them is the development environments. So, and among those development environments, we currently have 3 right now, which we're trying to reduce to 2 or 1. One of them is called DevBox, which is basically Vagrant, VirtualBox, and Docker that runs on your laptop. The other is OneBox, which is kind of DevBox in the cloud, but no Vagrant and no VirtualBox. The original idea being that you could run all of Lyft on a single box. It no longer really fits on that anymore, so but I guess you can spin up enough of Lyft to like take a ride on your phone on your one box. So people use that for development and QA and stuff. And we're building a new one called DevCube, which is going to be a Kubernetes-based development environment. And yeah, that's basically my work. But I really like working at Lyft. I get to work on stuff that I enjoy. And we use a lot of the open source software that I work on at work too, which is good. Lots of stuff to do, yeah. It seems like, I mean, on one hand, we're kind of like a janitor team, which is unfortunate, but I don't know. I think it's good. If len, I'll just top dot else if not dot else turn false. Else 0 equals. I guess we can combine all these. Return dot else, and actually let's make it explicit like we did before. Greater than equal to 0, greater than equal to 1, and tub dot else 0 or we want these all to be numbers. And tub.else 0 dot n is equal to 3. And all the rest of them are zeros. That actually isn't so bad, and I don't need a function for this anymore. I can just inline it right here. And put some more parentheses here. Janitor is low stress? Oh, that's the opposite of my team. Oh. People keep trying to get us to own their shit. And I don't want to own everyone else's infrastructure. Unfortunately, I know lots of stuff about everyone's infra because we're kind of the glue point between everything else. And so unfortunately, like, everyone comes to our team for help. Fix my snowflake. Yeah, that's the other thing, is people are like, I want to do this really crazy thing. Like, I want to download 200 gigabytes of map data at runtime. It's like, no. Why? It's gonna be so slow and cost so much money on all of our machines. Why would you do this? But fortunately, I guess that's not my team's problem. So, oh well. I'll be salty about it. Okay, so this should fix this to only check for 3.0 tuples. That test should pass. Oh. Oh, that's why I wanted to make it a function. Because this is long. Character 0 dot else. Oh, it fits. Cool. That passes now. Hey, can you fix Google Cloud? I mean, I probably could. Do I want to? No. Do I want to? Absolutely not. Alright, let's see if the test pass. Then we can close out this issue, which is good. And that's probably a good stopping point. 1061 is uncovered. So that's not good if we have uncovered code. 1061. 1061. Oh, we never did from imports. Okay, that's easy. This is fine. Yeah. And again, it doesn't remove the import because it doesn't know any better, so that import's going to stick around. I usually separate those with the line break. It looks like I'm inconsistent. Is it just these new ones? It's just these new ones. Alright, I'll fix it. Don't know what keyboard combination I just pressed there, but not what I wanted. Okay, so this should pass now. Oh, but we have a t.py. Guess it's a good thing that I wrote the test. Imported version info versus version info imported. I like this name better. I am so internally consistent. It is amazing. 1057. So this is always true. Oh, this never branches to here. Every time this is testing, it's true. Are you working with any interns this summer? So my team is supposed to get an intern, and our sister teams have interns, but I myself do not have an intern. Which is probably a good thing, because I'd be too damn busy for them. I barely have enough time for myself, but I have had interns in the past, but not at Lyft. I had 3 or 4 at Yelp. Actually, I think every intern I had got an offer. I had some good interns. One of them became my manager, which is a different story that isn't quite the nicest happy ending, but you know, it happens. Maybe you shaped them. I hope so. I know some of my interns taught me a bunch of stuff, which is good. That's like my favorite intern, Chris, who I still chat with almost every day. Taught me a whole bunch of stuff. Chris is pretty great. I miss working with him. I wish he would come work with me. All right, let's write this test so I can go to sleep. Sys import. I guess I should just do a negative test with an unrelated import. From sys import version. Such a garbage check. Don't ever do this in real code. Well, I guess we could do greater than string literal 2. This is technically a valid check, but no one should ever do this. Please don't copy and paste this. But it should be a no-op, which is what I want to test. Shout out to Chris. Hell yeah. Shout out to Chris. And just for lulz, let's see if it also passes in python3.8. My CI is broken, so obviously I'm not going to be able to test this in CI, but oh well. Yay. Can remove the work in progress bit. Also rewrite sys.versioninfo blocks. Yeah, Max's idea is a good one, in that maybe I'll eventually make it work for Py3.6 plus to kill the non-Python 3.6 code. So then you could, in theory, like, use the... Although, that kind of explodes the scope of this. Then I would need an option for literally every version of Python. But, I don't know, it's an idea. Could happen. Oh, and this is reinstalling all the hooks, and it's probably going to fail if I remember right. So, well, maybe it worked. But it's reinstalling them because it's trying to build them with Python 3.8. Which actually I'm surprised it's succeeding so far. Because I had a bunch of problems with like YAML building from source. Also, this is not optimized Python, so it's kind of slow. That's another part of packaging for Dead Snakes that I always have to do, is I have to re-enable optimizations after a while. But I haven't done that yet, because it adds like an hour to each of the builds, and I don't really want to sit around and wait for that. So I haven't done that yet. But yeah. That's all I want to get done for this stream. So now I'll do my usual spiel. If you missed any part of the stream and want to catch the rest of it, you can go to youtube.com/AnthonyWritesCode, and I upload all of my past streams. Well, since I started recording them. Before then, lost to the ether, no one will ever see those. Oh well. That was before I realized that Twitch didn't save your videos, but, you know, it happens. The other thing, if you want to get notified of streams, I usually announce them on Discord. The Discord link is down below. please join. We talk about code and stuff, and it's fun and great, and people are nice, and it's a good time. But yeah, I announce my streams on Discord. I also announce them on Twitter, twitter.com/codewithanthony. Hey, what's up, AZBowler32? Thank you for the follow. Also announce them usually an hour before on Twitter, so you can follow me there. My Twitter is not the same as my Twitch, so that's twitter.com/codewithanthony instead of Anthony Writes Code. And I usually stream on a schedule. On Saturdays at 1 p.m. I will stream, and usually 1 or 2 days during the week, similar to this one. But yeah, that's all I've got for today.